4 months ago, Huawei introduced the Honor 5X, and it seemed like a pretty decent phone for $200. But now, with new announcements from MWC and Lenovo Tech World coming up, is it worth your money in mid-2016?
This little phone at first glance is quite impressive. When showed to classmates and family, people reckoned that it was $300 to $500 just off of the exterior. Shiny though this Android is, it still gets some ugly scratches from metal-to-metal contact, and I was quite worried about denting the soft plastic top and bottom. And by the way, I find it quite hypocritical for metal to be one of the main selling points in the Honor campaign, when 20% of the phone is actually plastic. There's also a fingerprint scanner on the back, ergonomically placed, which is very much like the Lenovo Moto line. Although it's not the most accurate, it's quick and can be used for some cool gestures, like pulling down the notification shade.
The other side of the phone is not my favorite. It's a 1080p LCD panel. It's 5.5 inches. Sounds great, right? Well, this panel goes to show that resolution isn't everything. For example, it's oversaturated. Colors like a mint green turn into a more gross pea green, and clean yellow turns into old mustard. And it's too dim. I tried filming this under the sun, and you can see the results for yourself.
Underneath that brushed aluminum finish resides the Snapdragon 616, which is aging by now, and 2GB of RAM, which performs decently. But the occasional stutter reminds you that this is a $200 phone, though it's decent for everyday tasks and gaming isn't that choppy. The main downside of this phone is the software. It's running Huawei's custom Emotion or EMUI skin atop of Android, and just in case if you were wondering, Marshmallow is on the way. The launcher does not have an app drawer, so icons are scattered in an unorganized fashion. It's full of unnecessary gimmicks, bloatware, and features. Though I must confess, I did like some of the design choices. Not all of those features are useless. For example, things like double tap to wake, a custom home button layout, and a floating dock are gems in this sea of junk.
The software just looked very unfinished, unclean, and I also ran into some issues with installations, like I couldn't run Google Cardboard for some reason.
Finally, let's talk about the camera. It's again Fruit Company inspired, and like the rest of the phone, it's full of gimmicks like beauty mode, which I obviously don't need, perfect selfie, and good food. Okay. There are manual controls, but they're tucked in the settings, making them pretty unusable. The 13 megapixel back shooter is not the crispest, but is livable, and the selfie cam is just fine. And video? Well, it looks like a moving painting.
So is this phone worth your money in mid-2016? Well, the blunt answer is no. The camera is terrible, the software is terrible, and take into account that the processor is a bit too old for my taste. Well, why would you spend money on this at all, when there's new and better options out there? However, there have been recent price drops, but I would not personally recommend this to anybody, and I would never buy this for myself. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry about the lack of video production. Hopefully this summer I can get back to producing more content for you guys, so stay tuned for that and subscribe if you liked what you saw. I've got a ton of ideas and I just can't wait to share them with you.